Hello, everyone that is viewing this program across the social media spectrum. If you are viewing us for the first time, I want to welcome you to another broadcast of Pitch Deck 101. To learn more about what we do at Pitch Deck, I want to encourage you to visit the website that just appeared on your screen is www.pitchdeck101.org. In the brief, what we do, we work with businesses in terms of helping them to build the strongest of the value proposition. And once that is done, we work with them through issues like visibility, reach, impact, conversion, and how to build confidence, trust, and credibility. When that is done, we also work with businesses to help them to access capital and also integrate their businesses across the globe. Today, I have a very special person in studio, as you can see, all the way from the UK, and her name is Alison. Alison is the founder of Anchor Wellness. Anchor Wellness, you see the name shows up on your screen. And Anchor Wellness is not the usual organization. And I love this entity largely because for many years of my life, I was really saying to myself, there's a need for the type of services that you're going to be hearing about today. So I'm just going to give you a little brief. Um, Alison has a very rich background working with the federal government, and she will talk to us about that shortly. But let me just give you a little brief about Anchor Wellness. Anchor Wellness has some very strategic focus that the brand represents. And I want you to get your pens and I want you to get your paper and start taking some notes of what we're going to be talking about today. If you're the kind of person that wants to promote good health, this is the kind of program that you want to listen to. If you're the kind of person who wants to optimize your energy level, this is the kind of program that you're going to be listening to. And Allison is a subject matter expert in those areas. If you're the kind of person that want to maximize the use of your mental faculties by focusing on the right lifestyle, Allison definitely is the person that is going to be walking you through that entire process. So I encourage you to strap yourself in, get your pens and your paper, and be prepared to be wowed. All right. Allison, without further ado, I want to welcome you to the Pitch Deck 101 101. And I'm so excited to hear more about you and your platform. How are you today? Alison, you're mute. I'm not hearing you.
Okay. Yes,
Good.
I'm
I'm not
doing
hearing you.
brilliantly well, and it's an excitement for me being here today. Thank you so much, Gary, for the invitation.
Awesome. All right. I want to begin by asking you the first question, and I want you to tell us about your work experience. I know that you have a very rich work experience. You worked with the federal government of the US for quite many years. Tell us a little bit about that experience before we get into Anchor Wellness.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Yes, that was very interesting, very amazing. My time in that particular sector with the U.S. Air Force, I was based in Italy, and it was what for almost 25 years, in HR. My actual role was an HR manager. We are called all HR specialists. And I actually run a section at the time. It basically was looking at workforce organizations and such like, looking at job description, organizing the work, organizing people to workloads, and so on. So that's given me an array of experience in the personnel arena. I forgot to also mention recruitment was another side, but basically how you would announce a position and all of these things were part of what I did, like audits for employees and the likes. Yes. So great. Mhm.
That's definitely a rich experience. 20 plus years in the U.S. Air Force, in Italy. I guess those are dreams that so many persons will hope for. Yet
Oh,
you
yeah.
had it, and I'm happy that you would have put all of those experience to good use. Um, Now, tell us about what motivated you to become a business owner. And in talking with you, I recognize that you're not just the average business owner who starts a business and wants to cash flow maximize. In talking with you, I recognize that you have this genuine desire to want to help people, to want to transform people's lives, to want to optimize people's energy in the workforce, to increase productivity, increase profitability. I can see all of this when we talk. What are the motives behind you becoming an entrepreneur?
And Gary, you said it. All of those things and much more, because my late mother, who I had seen at the time, who suffered from dementia, great changes after my sister applied a difference in her diet and the effects, the side effects that she was having based on the medication she took at the time. Really, really, the results were wow. She had this convulsions, shaking. You would have thought that she had Parkinson's disease. So that's where my curiosity aroused, from the healthy perspective. I also, at the time, suffered from migraine headaches, nausea. And so what I did, I started to apply some of these techniques. I started slowly. Didn't get much results, but when I did, I thought, I want to delve in deeper. And that's exactly what I did. So I went on to do a number of studies where, again, like detoxification and toxicology. I did that also to understand the organs of the body that are the detoxification organs. It was very important. I have amassed a wealth of knowledge from this. And right now, I want to share this with others. This is my motivation, so they too can embrace good health in a natural way.
I I'm so happy that you would have said that. So I can see that the motive to get into this field came out of caring for your mom, came out of a desire to want to make sure that your mommy, experience better health. And I heard you talk this story many times because we were on many stages. And I really feel the joy, the excitement, and the passion that you feel when your sister started to use a lot of these experimental products because she did a lot of research. And wow, after a short period of time, you start to see that transformation in your mom.
Yeah.
I also heard that the way you relate to this too, is not only helping your mom, but it helped you because at age, I don't want to say the age, because you look 20 years younger than your age, right?
Thank you.
But I heard, yes, I heard you talk about the fact that you were recommended to wear glasses. And because of your confidence in your best practices in the ankle wellness formula, you quickly identify one, that you didn't want to use the glasses, and two, you quickly identify best practice that you can use to reverse the depreciation. Let me just say
Mhm.
depreciation in the quality of the eye. You reverse that process, and
Yes. Mhm.
subsequent to applying your techniques at the ankle wellness um, business, um, they were tested on your eye, you had perfect sight.
Yes.
So that to me is testimony of the effectiveness of what you're doing. And I'm very happy that you're now holding this information to your chest. But you have built out ankle wellness. You're from the UK, but you started ankle wellness in the United States of America, and you're now taking all practical steps to ensure that you get this information outside to the masses, in order to help them. So I want to say kudos to you. I
Yeah.
can see the motive for business here is anchored in the helping people, and I really love the approach that you're using to build out your brand. Um, as a follow up, I know that we have started this conversation some time back, but I must ask you, what is your experience like um, being mentor and coach by 10x B&M LLC out of New York?
Oh, that's a very interesting question, Gary. I struggled for many years with the idea of actually launching a business out there. And actually, I did at some point. I set up myself, I got some products together, amongst the people I know. But it didn't really go far. It didn't expand from there. And then it all went into nothing. And you know why? I didn't have the right support. I didn't have the correct process. All of these things were not on the table. And I think a lot of people in many areas, have this situation. Your brain tells you you're going to do with something. You're going to do a business, whatever it may be. You've got the knowledge, but you don't have the knowledge in that specific field, how to actually set up a business. So you think by going on social media, that's sufficient, but there's a lot more. So therefore, when I embraced 10x branding, oh my gosh, it was a powerhouse. It was a powerhouse for me because Mr. Gary Thompson, you are amazing. You're amazing. You have a wealth of knowledge. You have a lot of skills. Your professionalism is always there, ready to share knowledge, and you show so much care. You come out with some amazing things. You have taken me from zero to the skies, I will say, in such a short space of time. Anchor Wellness Inc. was already set up. I've also seen that you have a number of books that you have written, and 10x branding is one of the latest, which really has a lot. If anybody cares to know about the value proposition, it has a lot of amazing steps that people can get under their belt. But I would recommend having a mentor at any day, and Gary is the man right now. Mr. Thompson,
But
you're amazing. Thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But I also want to throw some flowers at your feet because working with you has been uh, so easy, and I think it was easy because one, you came with a passion. You know that you know a lot. You know that you have a lot to give, and you know that where you are is not where you want to be, and you came with that fire to want to grow and expand. And I saw that, and immediately I said, I have to do what I have to do to take you to that next level. I'm happy also that within a short couple of weeks, we had the business fully set up, registered, licensed in the US for you. And I really love the commitment also that you would have brought in terms of developing the content that we're going to get into now in relation to ankle wellness.
Mhm.
The next question I want to come to, Alison, is why ankle wellness? INC, what are, impact you intend to realize with the ankle wellness? But just before you go into that question, um, I have looked at some of the strong points of ankle wellness. And what I see, one, you want to reverse, help people to promote good health. I think that is super, super important. It's relevant to you as the average person living your life. It's relevant to you in the corporate community. It's absolutely necessary to want to focus on promoting, what I call a healthy lifestyle. We will talk, a little bit about healthy lifestyle. Part of your platform also is about promoting wellness and good health. wellness, and good health. And I love the other part, the third element of your brand, which is to
Yeah,
promote high
energy.
energy.
Hmm.
And that is so important because sometimes by the time the day gone halfway, your energy depleted. And in a fast moving organization, you need your workforce to have optimum energy in order to optimize productivity. And
Absolutely.
so
Yep.
and based on your studies and your research, these are all areas that you're focusing on. The last that is so important, I can see it here, is reduce and reverse the aging process.
Yeah.
And I can say this, I know without a doubt that it works, because when you say your age to anyone, they would not believe you. And that definitely is a testimony that what Anchor Wellness is using, it's working. So I repeat the question: why Anchor Wellness? What impact you intend to realize?
The main thing is this, Gary. Like a lot of things, people, many people are aware of the quality of lifestyle that they're having. Perhaps it's not the best, and it may be because of work, of different stresses, of different issues, lack of time. So people are taking shortcuts. I believe that people need to recognize the importance of it and start taking baby steps to to get there, and they will also see the results. And it is a sense of gratitude also that I feel that, as you said, I don't want to contain this information for myself. I know that there are people out there who can benefit from it. It is a serious matter because without health, you are not even going to enjoy the wealth. So this,
Exactly.
yes, this is one of the reasons.
Exactly.
So I set up Anchor Wellness, and there are, as you mentioned, four main impact strategies, which promote a healthy lifestyle, promote good health, high energy, and of course, reduce and reverse the aging cycle, which is one of the things that, as you said, you mentioned about my eyesight. It was being depreciated at one time, and now I don't wear glasses. There's a lot of things, that one can see in me at my numbers as they go up. I wouldn't say age. And that people say to me, no, maybe there's an error in your documents, your passport, your birth certificate, or whatever. But it is true. So,
I agree. I agree.
thank you for that. It is something that anyone can achieve as long as you put your mind to it and you take baby steps. This program promises to bring a lot, which I will explain a little further. You mentioned one thing: high energy in the workplace, and during my time in the workplace in corporate, I have noticed a lot of lack of energy, a lot of people also being stressed out because the workload perhaps is not divided evenly or equally. So that brings a lot of, I would say, bad vibes, which can, raise one's stress hormones, because people say, well, those people in that section has got much to do. They spend all their time doing so. So these are things that employers can be mindful of. And Anchor Wellness also have a program which we assist employees to understand these challenges that are faced in the workplace and provide recommended solutions also. So I'm so happy to step out there and give the service to people so that they can see a difference. So that is one. Um, can
Awesome.
I, can I explain a few other things also that,
Yes, I would love for you to do. I
yeah,
mean,
you see,
please do.
yeah, I do believe that there are a number of things that impacts the physical side of us, the emotional side of us, the spiritual side, and more. And there's always things that we can do in a natural way if we can understand what they are, to help to reverse some of these things, and make life a lot more fluid for us. So why? My motto is that our Creator has bestowed us with an abundance of natural foods, herbs, and wonders of the world. Let's go out and benefit. Life does not have to be with stress, with suffering, enduring all the toxins or toxic behaviors. So as
I
long as
really love I really love what you're saying. Um, what has been said for many years, you are what you eat.
yes,
But guess what? Many of us we eat, but in many cases you are not aware of the positive or negative impact of what you're eating. Why I love Anchor Wellness so much is that Anchor Wellness helps to enhance your awareness of what you're putting into your body. And in the process of doing that is giving you best practices that is going to have all of these positive ripple effect on your entire physiology and
you got it.
human ecosystem. Can we discuss in depth one impact strategy area? And I know you have about four of them, but
Yeah.
they're very deep. I know you're also writing a book on the your impact strategy. I can't wait to get my hands on that book.
Yes, sure
Um,
thing.
yeah,
Yes, I'm hoping to get this done, in a few months or so. Yes, taking
yeah.
time, but yeah, well, for instance, impact strategy one, I think that's always the starting point. Sorry, impact strategy two, I'm going to talk about today, promoting good health. And apart from eating the foods that nourishes the body, there are other things that we need to do also. And that's what I'm going to go into today. I'm going to talk about detoxification. And what is detoxification? Detoxification is also known as cleansing, and it refers to basically eliminating toxins from your body. As simple as that. There are harmful substances that come from outside, from the foods we eat, from drugs, from smoke pollution, and an array of other places. Also, even some of the foods we eat, because they are non-organic and they are grown in soils that are also anemic, sorry, and you also have a lot of pesticides that's being used, herbicides that's being used also. This is not really good for that end product. We ingest some of these particulars, and the main thing is the body is a marvelous machine, but it is not designed to break down some of these uh, materials. So that is basically one of the main areas. And we can look at the importance of detoxification. Um, I've said one of the things, apart from the body is not being designed to break down a lot of these things that we are ingesting, and of course we have.
And you're right. You're right. I just want to attempt uh, to diagnose a little bit more what you're saying. In other words, what you're saying, our body is not made to digest um, everything that we put inside of it. For example, with the food that we're eating today, because of fertilization, the fertilization, instead of it helping us,
Mhm.
it down regulates the body, and the body is not necessarily built to get those type of toxicity out of the body easily. So we have to know the best practices and creative ways to detox our bodies from all of those things that is harming the body. Am I correct when I add that
You
analysis to what you're saying?
you are on the penny, Gary. You're on the penny.
Powerful,
You're
powerful.
there.
That is why
Um,
I love your program. I love your brand. It's what you're doing is so important. I think because of the increasing global population today, the demand for food, there is, heavy demand to increase the crop growth life cycle. And in the process of doing that, they are incorporating all of these creative methods into food production, which is coming back to down-regulate human performance. And here is where you comes in
Right.
with your studies and your, your innovations, your best practices
Mhm.
to really add years to human life, but also to ensure that humans are having optimum energy to function in every
Yes,
area of their lives.
very. This is an important
Back
aspect.
to you, Alison.
Mhm.
I know you were going into the impact strategy, so back to you.
Yes, I'll continue with the importance of detoxification. Thank you for that, Gary. It's a great interjection. Uh, think about it. The body works around the clock, 24/7. It never sleeps, even though we do, but the body never shuts down. If the body shuts down, you're dead. Correct. So it's
Correct.
doing a marvelous job to keep you alive. But the thing is, we need to be mindful to give our body better support so that it can function at its best. And once we are aware of this, we shouldn't take it for granted. Be more present of this and give our body that extra hand. So once you
Mm-hmm.
know, there is no reason why you should fail not to apply. This is how I see it. Like many things, knowledge is power. Uh, so therefore, embrace a detoxification program really, really does wonders to the body.
I
And I will say that the organs of detoxification are four of them, which namely we have the liver, and the liver I usually term as the body's primary powerhouse because the liver is the
okay.
main system that filters toxins and other chemicals from the body. It also cleanses your blood, and it uh, has a filtering process of a range of particles from food that we eat, alcohol, medication that you intake. Um, it produces, at the end of the day, protein and bile. So the liver is responsible. It has a big job, and we need to look after our livers. And the liver, you can only do so when you know that the liver needs you to do a bit more rather than just eating anything. So
I
help the
agree.
liver. You can
Mm-hmm.
help your liver because what the liver is not able to filter, it will actually accumulate. If we think of a process of when you don't have enough time to spring clean, what happens? Everything goes in the sideways and byways. So this is why the detoxification process is amazing for the liver. And then we have the colon. The colon, oh my gosh. I don't know. Some people may have heard the slogan, "Death begins in the colon." And it is real, it is true. The
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
intestines is full of bacteria, of course. And this is where we need to have bowel movement to get rid of all the excess fat and toxins. This is what you need to process out of the colon. So you need to occasionally do some things to help your colon to remain clean. The problem is also that many are not also aware that the colon, before processing all the bacteria in the fecal matter, it also will absorb all the nutrients for the body to keep you also healthy and well, and you need this. So when there is a blockage in the colon, this is not happening. One of the main challenges that's very, very common for people, some people, the chemists or the I'm thinking of the other word, the pharmacy chemists, some people in different countries called the drugstores, sell an array of over-the-counter medication for constipation. This is because the colon is not working very well. So one of the things that people can be mindful of. Um, Kidneys is also another major organ of detoxification. And the kidneys basically filters water-soluble substances when it's passed on from the liver. So if and it's also excreted through or urine. So think about it. It's everything in the body works in synergy to keep you alive. Then we have the skin. The skin is by dimension one of the biggest organ because it takes over, it's covered all of our body, it covers. So when we perspire, this is where and how we are getting rid of toxins through our pores. Things like heavy metal and lead and so on. And so you need to be mindful of the things that you use, products you use on your skin. Sometimes these products contain substances that's not beneficial to the skin. The skin absorbs these things. So these are just the major four organs of detoxification. So what do you need to do? You need to avoid certain types of foods like fast food, like fried, fatty foods, refined foods. Also, sometimes there's oversized food portions. Not really good for you to have everything in one big plate. It really, because the body works overtime to process all of what you put in one go. So smaller portions is always better. And of course, healthy foods. Another thing is sugar. Sugar. The body doesn't necessarily need sugar. Creates a lot of starch, salt. A lot of salt. It's not designed to process these in natural substances. Even though sugar is something natural, the body doesn't need sugar. So a lot of refined sugar, or even though it may be the natural sugar, body doesn't really need it. It irritates your colon. That's one of the things, and it takes longer to get out of the system. So really, if you can avoid foods that are, full of sugar because it doesn't really have any nutritious value, we just eat it based on taste. Therefore, prevention is better than cure. Don't you agree, Gary?
Yes, I totally agree with you. 101%. It took me many years of studies, some time to adjust to the fact that sugar can do you more harm than good. But of course, to the average person, because sugar and salt is a main type of our diet today, we cannot see ourselves eating without it. In fact, these days I have an awkward. I'm very awkward in the sense that very often I'm in the supermarket and I'm thinking of a treat for the kids, and there in front of me is a lot of sweet. Now they eat sweet; they're good with that, but I know that it's not really good for them. I don't really use a lot of sweet because
Yeah.
I'm aware of the negative impact on it. In fact, if I use
Mm,
too much of that, immediately I'm down regulated.
mm,
So what you're saying is so important.
yeah.
I do believe that persons who may have diabetes, may have high blood pressure, what you're saying is directly applicable to them,
Hmm.
because I do believe that some of these things, if you catch them in the early stage, most illnesses that people go through, if you catch it at the early stage and you apply some of these best practices that you were talking about, I'm absolutely certain it can have a tremendous positive effect on their
Oh yeah.
health and
Oh yeah.
longevity. So
Hmm.
you're correct.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah, and I will say also, Gary, that in the case of children, yes, they are tempted because of the taste buds addiction to sugar. We were all there. The parents can start introducing different snacks, giving them a bit more fruits. It's going to take a long process, but never say never. Okay, if they have the odd sweet thing, but if you can start weaning a little bit, and also help them to understand, why it's important for them to have the healthier choice as opposed to, the sugar or, a lot of salty foods.
Yep, you're
Yes.
correct. Of course, going the non-sugar way, um, it could be costly. For one example, I mean, you can just take a spoon of sugar and you can sweeten your tea and your cup of porridge. But
Yes, I see what you mean.
in my case, I probably use 1% of the sugar that I used to use way back in those days.
Hmm.
But to sweeten porridge, to sweeten sugar, to sweeten other things, what I may use is uh, a few bananas, and
Yeah.
banana is a sweetener. All right,
Mhm.
I've learned to use fruits as sweeteners
Yeah.
into the various food types that I'm using.
Mm.
That could be an expensive task for a lot of people, but it's a sacrifice that you have to make
Yeah.
in the interest of promoting a healthy lifestyle. And
Right.
again, this is why I love this program, because
Mm.
I do believe that there are people that wants to adopt a healthier lifestyle that will, complement all the things that you talk about. It's about promoting longevity. It's about reversing the aging process. It's about ensuring that you have high energy throughout the day. you know,
Yes. Yes.
and
You
here's
got it,
where
Gary.
your
Yeah.
platform plays a very pivotal role in bringing awareness and pointing people in that direction. And I know you're also doing the mentorship, the coaching. You're doing the one-on-one intervention with people that
Yes.
needs this type of information.
Hmm.
I'm also aware that everything that you're talking about is not just for the individual only, but I believe that every corporate ambassadors that are going to be listening to this program, they need this program, because optimizing human performance in the workforce is not only based on the academic content,
Hmm.
it's based on everything that you're talking about. People can become walking encyclopedia on management systems, on project management theses, and all of these different things. But if they are down regulated or functioning in a down regulated state, you're not going to get optimum performance in the boardroom. You're not going to get optimum performance in how they function in the organization. You're not going to get optimum performance as they go out to do marketing and public relation, because the things that they're eating, it's having that strong hold on their
Yes. Uh-huh.
physiology, their
Yeah.
emotional state, and their psychological state.
Mhm.
Again, in talking with you, I have learned so much because of your depths on the subject matter. And I'm just happy to be alongside you to bring public attention to what you're doing and support you in making impact across the world with Anchor Wellness and this unique brand that you're offering. With that being said, is there you know anything that you want to say just before we pull the curtain down on this program? But just before you go, I will put up your link, so persons can find you on your website. They can
Mhm.
find you on all the social media platform. Once they get to your website, they're going to find you on all the social media platform. And I want to encourage the public to reach out to Allison, reach out to Anchor Wellness. If you're the kind of person that is serious about your health, about high energy, about reversing and reducing the aging process, if you're the kind of manager that wants to optimize the workforce performance so as you could
Yeah.
increase productivity and increase profitability, I want to encourage you to connect with Allison, connect with Anchor Wellness. She has a wealth of knowledge that she is now putting out there. That knowledge has been tested for quite a number of years now. And I know that she's excited to just put this body of knowledge into your hands so you can apply it into your life. You can apply it into the workforce to ensure that you're getting better results in how you're growing and scaling your brand. Back to you, Alison. Is there any
Oh,
last?
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I piggyback on what you said, Gary. I am here as a lifestyle and wellness consultant. My interest is in reaching out to you. Do let me know, come back to me and get on my platform when this link goes out. And I am happy and delighted to help anyone who want to embrace a difference in their health and their environment. And Gary, it's been amazing. And I'm looking forward to doing this more and sharing a little more with anybody who wants to commit to this lifestyle. And have an amazing day. And thank you.
Thanks, Alison. It's always a pleasure working with you. In closing, I just want to quickly recap what Anchor Wellness represents. Now, when you knock on the door of Anchor Wellness, what are the key takeaways? Anchor Wellness will help you to understand what is promoting a healthy lifestyle. I know we didn't go deep into what is promoting a healthy lifestyle. We only scratched the surface here today. But I want you to ask yourself, are you living the best life? And just a little snippet here. It's important to focus on your work-life balance. Excuse me, in the Caribbean, I'm having wonderful breeze. You can see my blind is just blowing. So I just open up my windows for the breeze. Yeah, a part of healthy lifestyle. Yeah, is to really focus on understand what is healthy lifestyle. Alison will go into that in the future programs that we're going to be hosting, so you have a clear mental picture of best practices that you should focus on to have a healthy lifestyle. She will also talk about promoting wellness and good health. What does that represent? Alison will go deeper into that in the future programs that we're going to be doing. I want to also encourage you to follow her on social media. So as she put out content, you can get those contents. You can apply those contents into your life to ensure that you are prolonging your health and your wellness and reversing the aging process. Along with that, when you reach out to Anchor Wellness, you will also learn about how to promote high energy. And the last thing that you want to do is to be alive and you don't have the energy to, get involved and participate and, be a part of all the good things that makes life so interesting. Allison and the Anchor Wellness brand, they have the formula that's going to help you and your team to boost their energy level. So with that being said, I really want to thank Allison for taking the time out to be with us. Allison, as you learned in the introduction of this program, she spent over 20 years working with the American Air Force in Italy. She worked in a senior capacity while at the Air Force. She has spent quite a number of years studying human physiology and the issue of detoxification. She is a subject matter expert in these areas. So she has a wealth of knowledge. So do follow her. Ensure you're, writing your questions down, chatting with her, getting all the key information so you can take your health, your energy, your wealth to the next level. And Alison, I know today we didn't talk about wealth in terms of the healthy
Oh,
lifestyle. I know you're also looking at the wealth aspect of healthy lifestyle, but
yes.
we're going to get into that in the next broadcast. So that's just
Yeah,
a
for sure.
prelude what is to
Yes.
come. Okay, Alison, great being with you today. I'm looking forward to do this with you more often. And
This
you
has been
too,
amazing for me.
definitely. So I'm looking forward to doing this more frequently. And whatever you do enjoy. And
Yeah.
I can't wait for that book, Alison. Can't
Oh,
wait for
sure. I want to share the goodness with the people who need it. So,
you
yes,
got it. You got it. Okay, Alison, do have a blessed rest of the weekend. And
you
do enjoy the weather in the UK.
cold. Yes.
Cold
Too cold.
weather.
It's not raining, at least not yet. It did
Not
for the
yet.
past few days, but today it's held its hand a bit. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, do enjoy,
Okay.
and we'll
Thank
talk soon.
you. And you
Okay.
too. Have a great Sunday, what's left of
You
it.
too, Alison.
Okay.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye, Gary. Bye.
Bye bye.